Welcome, guys. I am Vika FX, and in this channel, all we do is share useful tips that will better your trading and improve your profitability in Forex. So, if you're not yet a subscriber, subscribe now because we release steady, impactful tips that will change your trading career. So, hit that subscribe buttons, hit that notification bell, and let's get into today's video. On today's video, I'll be teaching you simple way to analyze the market. Analyzing the market doesn't have to be complicated. It's a very simple thing, and you just need to follow the steps and approaches. The goal of every forex trader is to be able to predict where the market is headed and be able to take suitable positions in in the market. If you cannot take suitable positions in the market, you easily get blown out. You easily get knocked out in the market. So the goal of this video is to teach you how to first of all know the direction of the market and to be able to take suitable positions that will better your trading. I've been doing this for 4 years and these are the techniques I use to be profitable. So follow me as I show you the secrets of how I trade. When you open your charts, the very first thing you need to do is to find the trend. You need to find who the trend between buyers and sellers, who has control over the market. So, and the way you to do that is to go on your higher time frames. You begin by going on your higher time frames. You understand? And I like going for the week one, the weekly time frame, and a D1 time frame. This is where I find trends that are profitable. So let's begin by analyzing
This
this
is the
particular pair.
boom 1000, and we are going to be analyzing this particular trading asset.
And so we will first of all we'll go to the monthly time frame. You always start your analysis from a monthly time frame. So we go to M1. So this is monthly time frame. Okay. Now let's look at what the monthly time frame is saying. So let's look at what the monthly time frame is saying. We're in the monthly time frame, and we can clearly see
The
that
market
has been on the uptrend. We have here as the lowest of the lows, and how here as the highest. So this has been the lowest, this has been the highest. So we can clearly say that the market from this position moved up, came to this position here, and then rallied upwards. So the market, the price does not move in a straight line, price moves in waves. So we should expect a retracement, which we got here, and then we are now seeing a move, a move up, a move up. So it's clearly stating that it clearly stated down now that claiming that the price is on an uptrend. By the way, it moved from here to this position. We have a retracement, and now it's now on. So price is on a clear uptrend. You see, that's how we were able to know the market direction without even stressing ourselves much. So price is on an uptrend on the monthly time frame. So now we go to the daily time frame and start looking for our entry. We've know that the market is an up so the market is going on overall direction is uptrend. We've known that the overall direction of the market is an uptrend. So what we are looking for next is now the position of entry. Understand? People that trades more of people that trades more of people that hold position for months, people that hold position for months would have waited for price to come at this zone here, this other block here, to take their entry, and they would have made a little good profit from what happened here. This is a very good. This is a very good. This is a other block, an other block. This would have been a good position to take your buy entries. So, but now since we are not trading, we are not holding position for a month. We are holding position for just for a day. We have to actually find our position in a smaller time frame. When you're holding position for a long time, let's say for months, for years, you can take your trades from monthly time frames. But when we that trades, we that are day traders, we don't take positions from monthly time frames. So we look for that lower time frames and take our entry. So the first thing to know, we got our direction, the direction of movement of price from higher time frame by looking at the the lowest low and the high, and then we could see that price was actually rallying up, and now has actually made a small retracement down to an order block, and now it's pushing up. So we know from the sales of candle here. This is a month candle. So guys, it's like this actually is a an uptrend because of the series of buy candles that are just forming serially. You understand? So that's an easy way to know an uptrend. So we go to week one and we can see that we had series of uh series of buy candles. We had an order block here. Okay, and you can see that price hit this order block here and started going up. Here is another only new order block that is also formed here. So we can see that we had a lot of other block here. We also have here. So here is you can see that this the week we can see that this week stop exact this week, let me do it well. This week here stop exactly at the other block area. I started pulling up. Remember, this is a weekly candle. So if you go to a lower time frame, we'll see how this week candle got to other block and then started going back up. So price sometimes respect other block, and other blocks at higher time frames are often more accurate for entries. So if we were here before this week candle was formed, we would have been looking for an entry at this around this order block. So we go to um daily time frame to see if we see something good. Okay. Now this is it's very getting interesting. You can see we are now on a smaller time frame, and we see that price is making series of red candle, but we are not concerned about series of red candles that price is currently making. We are waiting for price to hit areas like for price to come down to areas like here. These areas is a good areas to buy. So anytime price came to this zone, price picked up, came to this zone, price picked up. So this zone is a very good zone. So here is a good resistance zone. Here is a good support zone. So any of these zones can actually hold price. So currently now at this resistance zone here that is now turned support, we'll wait for price to hit this zone, go down a little, give us a good rejection, give us a good signal for a buy, and then we enter. So that's what we wait. So we'll be looking for buys around areas like this, areas like here, areas like here, and areas like here. Okay, so areas we'll be looking for a buy entry. You understand? Areas like here are good areas. Let me show you something. Areas like here are good areas because of the collusion that happened here. There was so much commotion around this area here. So this is a good area for a a good buy. Okay. So we're looking at area one here, area two, this area here. These are all good areas for your buy entries. Understand? So that is basically how you spot your buy entries. This is a D1 time frame. You can then go to a smaller time frame like H4 and then begin to look for good, good, s- good entries. Okay, let it finish. Okay, now we've seen um, a sweet order block here. So it's a good area to wait for price. It's also a good zone here. Okay, so these are all good areas They're all good areas. Let me draw it well so that it become more easier for you to catch up. Is another block here, a good zone for buy. It's a good zone for a buy. It's a good zone for a buy. Okay. It's a good zone for a buy. But the overall of all zones, because once price breaks a resistance, once price breaks a resistance zone, it will come back to test that zone. So we expect price to come back and test this zone and then pulls up. Okay. So this is where we'll be waiting for price. If price if price breaks lower, then we'll start looking for other blocks or start looking for areas of liquidity to take our buy entries. So this is basically how to analyze the markets. So the first thing is to get your direction. I can do that from a higher time frame. Okay, get your direction. Next thing is to get the your point of entry. You can't just enter anywhere in the market. You have to get specific zones for entry. And here is our best shot. Whenever price comes to this zone, you want to enter. Patience is key in Forex. This is the zone. I want to show you the zone. This is the zone. It's our zone. Because price has broke this resistance. We're expecting to come back here, test this resistance, give us a good rejection, and then go up. It must not necessarily must not necessarily be here. It can be around this area because this area here is the resistance. So it can actually hit this zone here, give us a good rejection, and then begin to rally up. So that's basically how price moves.
So guys, I want to, with another example, show you how to analyze the forex market, how to predict and take stable entries. So remember what I said earlier, you are starting from the higher time frame and looking at the monthly time frame. And here you can look at, this is the structure of the monthly time frame. You can see that price rallied. Let's just imagine from, okay, let's, okay, okay, this is good. Now let's look at price went from this position, came down here. So this is the lowest of the low, and this is the highest of the high. Okay, so price moved from this point here, made a brief higher low, went up, gave a higher high, gave a higher low, broke structure, broke this structure. So this resistance here became support. Price went up, gave another higher high, came back to this resistance now becoming support, formed a higher low, pushed up, broke structure here, and then it has made another high. So this is a clear uptrend. This is a clear uptrend. You don't even know what to tell you that this is actually an uptrend. You understand? So in a market like this, we are looking for buy entries, suitable positions to buy in this kind of market. So now we go to lower time, to smaller time
We go
frames.
to the weekly time frames, the weekly time frame, and then we can see the same structure. Okay, here was the break of structure. Here was break of structure. Break of structure. I say BOS means break of structure. Break of structure. Break of structure. So when you see multiple break of structure going going to the upside, you know that that's a clear uptrend, and you can find entries at break of structures. So you can see clearly that whenever the price came to that point of break of structure, there is price will rebound from that position and then go up. So break of structure actually good place to find good entries. You understand? They work on higher time frames and they also work very well on lesser time frames. You understand? Because we actually good structure. So you wait for price to break structure. You wait for market to come back to that structure that it just broken, and then you pick your entries. Okay. So
So we clearly know that this is an uptrend, and having identified that this is an uptrend, the next thing now is to look for suitable areas to buy. With what just keep happening in this chart alone, you can just actually plot where is the best place to take your entries, and the best place based on structure is break of structure. When you definitely wait, you have to wait when price breaks structure, comes back to that zone of break, and then you take your entries. That is as one of the best strategy to trade. You wait for price to break structure, comes back to that structure, and then you take your trade. But you cannot do that on higher time frame, because higher time frame takes times to form. Higher time frame takes time to build up. You understand? You can't wait for months and months and months and months to actually and wait for structure to be broken on higher time frames. So you have to go to a lower time frame to look for similar structures like this, and then you take your trades. So we'll go to D1, and we'll do an example there and see how we can trade break of structure. We are in the D1 time frame, and we'll be taking our entries on the D1 time frame. On the perfect circumstances, I would prefer you to take your entries on 4-hour time frame and the H1 time frame. For the sake of this exercise, we'll be taking our entries from the D1 time frame. Now we clearly know that from the high time frame, such as the 1 month and the weekly time frame, we are in an uptrend, and we are only looking for buy entries. So for the market, you can see series of candlestick. You can see that the market actually was moving upward, so we are in an uptrend, and now we are currently at this position here. This is the highest high, and this is the lowest low. So now we're looking for, now the market is like this. At what time do we get into this market? We can see that here is a break of structure. Here is a break of structure. You can see it clearly there. You can see how it's already identified for by us by this indicator here, BOS break of structure, and then we want to get in. Okay, so let's see what happens when as price continue to form. We have already, for this candle to form here, this red candle to form here, means here is already a resistance. There is a clear resistance at this place. That's why you have this big red candle that fall here, that retrace here and hits this break of structure zone. So that is a clear indication of a resistance. So we'll be clearly waiting for another break of structure to happen to happen after this resistance has actually been hit here. So remember, every one time, whenever price hits that resistance, price will definitely react to that resistance, and sometimes the reaction can be fast, it be slow. Sometimes it will take time around that zone, and then at some point it will then break out. So some resistance are very can take time to be broken. Some can easily broke. For instance, this resistance here. Sorry, let me use this resistance here. So here it was easily broken. This one here was easily broken. This one here was easily broken. But let's see if this one here will be easily broken like that. The 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 more time a price spent trying to break a resistance or a support tells you of the strength of that zone. So you can bet more money on that zone that price took time to break than zone like this. You understand? So the more time price spent to break um, time the more time price spend to break zones tell you of how strong and valid that zone is. So you can bet your trades on such zones. So let's see how long it took price, how many candles it took price to break this exact zone here that it had just newly formed. So we play, let's see. Okay, okay, you're waiting.
Now you can see what's happening here. This exact point here, you can see how price is reacting to this other block here and this break of structure. There's another block around this area here. On this area here, you can see the other block here, and that same area is a break of structure. So price is reacting with all these it's all this weak. You can see price reacting with all this weak here. You can see it. Okay, those weak signal that price is respecting that uh, zone, but because this zone did not take price lots of candles, a lot of time to break, we can't really vouch much for that zone. We can actually take a few pips, maybe few pips our way. Like we can actually make profit from here. Sorry, let me use the profit from here to this point here. That's good profit. That's good pips. But for a long term trade, you actually cannot be assured of using this break of structure as a point of trade because price did not react. Price did not spend more time breaking that zone. So price can actually still break this zone and come down, hit your stop loss and still go up. So that's not a good zone to bank on when it comes to trade, except you have a very pretty long stop loss. So let's see what happens next. So okay, you see price. You see what happened? I just said it exactly like I said, because this book of structure, because price did not take time to be structure, so it's not actually a very strong zone that can propel price upwards. A good zone would hold price from going down, mostly if it's a support. So if it's a support, it will prevent price from going down and breaking it back. But when a zone was easily previously broken by price using a few candles, that should tell you that that zone is not as strong. So your analysis should be around that 45% uh, trust on that particular zone. Remember your trading zone, your trading break of structures, your trading um, other blocks. So this is other block. I just showed you before. This is another block. Let me show you again. When you see things like a green candle and a red candle, opposite candle, and another pink candle, that's another block. So this zone is actually not a good zone because I just explained why it's not a very authentic or high probability zone, because you should be looking for high probability zones. So you see price just broke that zone, came back down, but it doesn't mean that the trend has been broken. The trend still holds, but let's see. Now our main aim is to see how long it will take price to break this zone, because we're waiting for price to break this zone and give us a good break of structure. Then we will take the test on this zone. Remember, it's still a resistance zone because price has not broken it. When price breaks it, it becomes support. For now, it's still a resistance zone. So we're waiting for price to break this zone, go up, give us a good retest on that zone before we can take our entries. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. So let's ride on. So okay, price was a good rejection. Price started going up. Okay, I mean what it means now that this zone is very valid. It's a very valid zone, but it's still not a good. It's a good zone to trade for those that are short-term traders, because this is actually a D1 time frame. For those are actually a short-term traders, this is actually a good zone to trade. And if you have a long stop loss, this is actually a good zone to trade. But people that have short stop loss, it's actually not a good zone to get perfect entries. So we're waiting for zone that will give us perfect entries where price will not even smell our stop loss. So we're waiting for that zone. You see, price. So people that actually put stop loss around this area would have been kicked out by price. Have been kicked out by price. Price has come to this imbalance. It's an imbalance here. Okay. there's an imbalance around this area. Price just take that. There's an imbalance here. Price took the liquidity around this area, and then boom, they started pulling up. So because price moved because of liquidity. Liquidity is the fuel. It's like a fuel for price. So price, there are areas where there were orders. In fact, there are orders here at this zone. Price had to come back, take those orders before moving in the main direction of the market. Okay, but the point is, you have to wait for zones that are valid. So we are still waiting for price to break this zone. So let's go. Okay, okay, price is pulling up. So this zone is a valid zone because you can see that at this zone here, at this zone, remember this is the zone. This is the zone. So you can see that price went up, hit the zone, came back down. Okay, let me do it again. Let me do it well. You can see that price went up, hit this zone here, came back down, still test the zone, came back down, traveled, came back to that same zone, hit the zone, now fall back down. So this is actually price is taking long, it's taking more candles to break this zone. So it's if it ever gets to that zone, it falls down. So I think this zone is a very strong zone, and it's actually going to be a very good bet for our success in this particular trade. So let's see when price definitely going to break the zone. So okay, price has gone back to gather more power, more strength. So it has gone back to find more liquidity to break the zone. Whenever price can break a zone, it goes back down, drags more liquidity, more power to break that zone. So you can see that this same zone is still holding price. Price is not even trying to price cannot even get to that former point it got to first to this point. The zone is so strong that it is even resisting price. Price cannot approach it. So we have a, wow, it has broken the zone. So price has actually broken that zone. So we see. So after price struggled here, here, it's rallied down a little bit, got enough power, and then boom, pushed up. So price broke the zone. Now we cannot yet enter because for years we have waited, we have taken long, and it's time to now do the weights. In first, you have to trade strategies. You have to trade specific patterns. You understand? You can't trade everything. You can't trade every candle you see in here. So you have to trade certain patterns, and we are trading break of structures. So we are waiting for price to come back and retest this zone. Then we enter buy entries. So price has broken the zone, fine. That's a good thing. Now we have to patiently wait for price to come back, test that zone before we entries. So it's not over yet. Yeah. So we wait. So price now is coming back down, coming back down, coming back down. Okay. After the break of structure, for price to come back. Okay. First, all about patience. We have to be patient. We have to wait. You would have to wait. You won't just enter the market anytime. You would really have to wait. So you have to be patient with the candles, especially with price. It will definitely come back. And you see how close it's getting. Okay, we are getting back to a zone. So because price just approached the zone, you won't just enter next. You have to wait for price to give a rejection candle or give a strong momentum candle in the opposite direction since price is selling downwards to that our zone, we have to wait for rejection. Sorry, we have to wait for a rejection candle, a buy rejection candle, or a strong momentum candle going upwards. So let's see. Now price has reached the break of structural zone. Okay, it has reached, but yet won't stay enter. We have to wait for a buy signal, and the buy signal is a change of candle. Okay, and boom. Now the next candle that comes in is very, very, very critical, and that is our signal. And the next candle that comes in came in with a bullish engulfing. This is a bullish engulfing candle. I want you to go and read about bullish engulfing candles. They are very, very important. This because when I say bullish engulfing means that the candle that came next completely engulfed the previous candle. You can see that this buy candle here, completely engulf this red small candle. So this is a good signal for entry. And as we will do it, we'll just go, we'll look for our, okay, let me favorites, get my long tool. I put my stop loss below this. And take my take profits up to this zone here. Okay, so this one is 1:2. So I'm taking my take profits to the highest high, the higher high. That's the higher high, because definitely price will definitely want to break that structure. You understand this structure that, remember, this is now a new resistance. This is now a new resistance. Remember what happened in the previous one. This is now a new resistance. So we will need to definitely get to that position. So we will definitely get to that position when price will now break it and then form another, repeat this whole thing again. So you see that price always in a repetitive pattern. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So okay. Okay, we're in profit. We're in profit. And bam. You see our price was close to it, and boom, we hit our TP. So this is basically how to take your trades, how to analyze, but this is basically how to trade break of structure. You have to wait for a break of structure, wait for a retest, and then you buy. But remember, you have to check if that structure is a strong structure that has been broken. And how do you know that? By the number of time price spent breaking that particular resistance or support zone. Can repeat the same process for downtrend. You understand? It's the same valid. It's just the opposite of everything I'm saying. So I hope you actually got everything I just teach today. If you have any questions, if you're confused, anywhere you don't understand anywhere, you can drop a comment or ask me a question. I'll be glad to take you on a personal replay on all this. So see you on our next video. Bye for now. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and God bless you.